the top four and play their 26th straight final series. An incredible record in any sporting club around this world. And Tony Ronaldson, you were part of a fair few of them as well. But can they win the championship? That's the big question. Here's Williamson to Wagstaff. Little fake, and then the jumper from the corner doesn't go. Rijkaard taking the rebounds. And what can Cairns do? With Alex Loudon possibly coming back next week, the talk that Ian Croswhite may struggle to get back at all. He rolled his ankle, but it could be worse than that. Couldn't make the trip over here. Alex Loudon, well, they're going to rest him, and they've got Sydney and Adelaide to come. You'd think they'd win those two games with Alex back in, but it puts pressure on him if Alex doesn't come back.
Well, Sydney have had a couple of good results. Is the game in Sydney or up in Cairns?
Very good question. Yeah, I'll have to check that. I didn't write that one down.
Jeez, let me down. But, yeah, Sydney, I mean, obviously won a couple of games since Shane Hill's come into the coaching role there, so playing a bit better, so we wouldn't pencil that one in, but they definitely should beat Adelaide. But they're going to be up against it, that's for sure.
And Perth have Townsville here in the jungle as another three-pointer drops in for Drew Williamson. They got Townsville here in the jungle and Melbourne to finish off. Guaranteed top two. They win both of them. They can't drop out. Gold Coast need to win a couple of theirs. They've got New Zealand a couple of times as well.
Always tough.
There's a foul in there.
Some great strength there by Wilson, just getting the contact and just having enough strength to get the ball up in the air. See here, Brad Roberts just overplaying just a little bit. Playing through Tovey. Probably wasn't as bad as I first thought, but still.
Jamar Wilson going to the line now, being a basic basketball man that I am. Gold Coast have got New Zealand a couple of times. Yes. Would it ever come into New Zealand's thinking, well, we don't really want to face maybe Gold Coast, who are that team that can just come out and do anything? So they might lose one?
Oh, look, I would not think so, no. What they might do is they might rest some players. They might have some players who've got some niggling injuries, and because of that, one of the results might not go the way that you probably predict in New Zealand, or would think that they should. But the Gold Coast, obviously, they have a lot of talent.
Yeah, they're a danger team, aren't they? They could destroy opposition sides or fall over the line. I mean, Townsville beat them last night, and they're an impressive team as well. Yep. But maybe Gold Coast have got that X factor that we don't really know what's going to happen during the playoffs.
Yeah, they certainly do. But I think that, look, mate, you'll definitely, I think, from the New Zealand perspective now, they've got that first sewn up. They'll definitely look at just managing players through these last few weeks so they're nice and fresh coming to the playoffs, and that might affect the result, but they won't be going out there and try and manipulate the competition, because that would also be illegal.
No, well, is that right?
Okay. Yeah.
Here's Martin, 73-48. Williamson again. Can't make it drop. Jamar Wilson off and racing, and Martin nearly stole it out of his hands. James Mitchell is the man on the court for Cairns, one of the youngsters.
19 shot clock, Brad. 19.
19 on the shot clock. 73-48 is the score. Wilson with it, comes off his foot. He's had a little bit of unluckiness throughout this quarter. Wagstaff, the dish to Neville, and Neville lays it in again off the glass.
Yeah, just both teams now really just going through the motions a little bit. Intensity and execution's gone out the window. And
sometimes intensity goes out of the game, not for Kevin Listow. He gave one of the supporters a little kiss as he ran over the LED signs. Here's Mitchell. And there's a bit of holding on inside the key. It'll be against Wagstaff. So Perth have scored the last three. Here's Lish. There it is there.
Oh, he split him.
He did. It's all right. As Cam Toby rests up and Warren comes back in.
I think that lady leans a little bit to her left, hoping that
just to get a peck on the cheek.
Just to get a peck on the cheek.
Underneath. Wilson swatted away by Neville. Can he hold on to it? No, he can't. Wilson working hard again. He goes for a second shot. That one rattles around. And the Wildcats Wildcats.
That's the sort of situation when you know everything's gone out of the game. Does Wilson, if he had any sense of what he should have done, he should have pulled that back out and executed. So.
And there was a little pass too that Warren was sitting on the three-point line, but they finished up scoring the points. The Cairns Taipans to jump up to 50, still 25 points behind. Here's Ben Purser, son of Andrew Purser, who played at the Footscray Footy Club or Western Bulldogs back in our day. And quite a few changes. The bigs go off for the Wildcats, Wagstaff and also Neville. And Vigor and Redditch come onto the court. Michael Vigor, another development player for the Perth Wildcats. Getting a few minutes with 6 minutes to go in this final term. And 14 seconds will be reset on the shot clock.
Yeah, that's 14. Same deal. Back up the line.
A bit of push and shove as Brendan tries to get round the screen. Redditch just goes himself and drops into two. But an impressive performance tonight from Sean Redditch, shooting at 50%. Started really well. And he's got 10 points to his name, or 12 points. 10 points to his name at the moment. Here's Grabo from outside the three-point line. Brebner and Redditch were cuddling each other. And Sean will be called for the foul, and I'd say that's his fourth for Sean Redditch.
Definitely plays with a physical presence, does Brebner. Been caught up in a few of those sort of physical altercations, so it's good to see.
Exactly. 77 to 50, 27 points is the margin.
Are you ready? You want to have some fun?
Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, only in cinemas.
Non-irritating labels, twin needle stitching, reinforced shoulders, Jombre reinforced yokes, a decent Real Blokes fit. Our famous 210 GSM cotton tees are a better tee than you'll find anywhere at any price.
27 points is the lead for the Perth Wildcats. Kevin Lish with 14 points, Sean Redditch with 10 points, and Brad Robbins with 12 points. They're the leaders for the Perth Wildcats, and for the Cairns Taipans, 13 to Jamar Wilson. Brebner with 11, and 7 points for Aaron Grabo, and Reichart with 8 points. There's the steals, 9 to 3. No surprise to see the Caddies.
Because my favourite player plays for the Wildcats, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And there's the turnovers, 17 to 8. Great performance from the Wildcats. You get 8 turnovers for a game, you'd walk away very happy.
In our previous broadcast, I remember that all the turnover counts are always quite high, so that's something that you've got to take care of the ball, particularly coming up into the playoff environment. It's key. So 8 turnovers for a game, Rob Beveridge will be really happy with
Your
that.
favourite player, though, Damien Martin, talking about the steals. Only 2.
Yeah, but it's the deflections, mate.
And Kevin Lish.
It's also over 25% of the total steals.
Just 2. I mean, Marto needs to pick up his act.
2 of 7 is not bad.
Kevin Lish with 4, and 2 to Cam Tovey.
Oh, well, maybe Kevin Lish could be now my new favourite player.
Yeah. As Wilson bombs from way outside the three-point line, and another rebound to Damien Martin. He's taken 9 for the game, so that's not too bad for him. As Bigger forces his way through, draws the foul, and he'll go to the line. So Damien Martin with 9 rebounds. There's the pass to Vigor. He did that well. He's got 7 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals for Damien Martin.
Not good, really, is it? Not good enough, apparently, according to you, to warrant being a favourite player of someone.
Nah.
To think everyone's tuned out by now listening to our dribble.
Yep. It's 24 points to margin.
Yeah.
As Redditch jumps up for the alley-oop but didn't go. Wilson does well to take the boards. Here's Wilson driving his way. Getting in the way was Ben Purser, but he was just a touch late. Now, my stats machine here says it's the Taipans are 53 with the scoreboard. Says it's 52. We'll have to get that confirmed. somewhere between 23 and 24 points, or 25.
It's a big margin.
Yeah, that's right. We'll go with what's on the screen. 22 points. The scoreboard's still saying it's 52 as Warren from outside three doesn't get there. Brendan did well to contest it, but he pushed it out of court. 5 minutes remaining in this game. The Wildcats through to the playoffs. And they've got Townsville next Friday night in what should be an absolute beauty on one. Here's Lish to Purser. Now to Redditch. Tries to get the pass away, lost control of it, and Martin wasn't there to pick up the crumbs. And we'll have another timeout. Who's going to win the championship, Tony? This is the big question. You saw the Breakers come over here to Perth and went into overtime. Breakers won by 2 in the end.
Yep.
Townsville are a terrific team. They beat Gold Coast last night, but haven't been able to beat and haven't even really been able to be competitive against the Perth Wildcats. No. And then Gold Coast, as we said, that sort of team.
It's going to be either Perth or New Zealand.
Okay,
that's my... Do I have to actually pick one?
Yes, you have to predict one.
Yes. New Zealand.
New Zealand, just because they've got the 2 home games.
Home court advantage helps. I do think for them to win, they are probably more vulnerable on the way, so it's more important for them to have home court advantage. And I think Perth have a better chance of getting it without. So it'll be a great... Did that make sense? You're nodding, but you're like... Yes, it sort of made sense.
Yeah, it sort of made sense.
No. Oh, okay.
So New Zealand for you.
Yeah, well, basically, I think Perth out of second position a better place than what New Zealand would be if New Zealand were in second place. So, yeah, but I think ultimately New Zealand have been the form team all year, have a great record at home, 12-1, I think, and so it's going to be tough for a team to go over there and win a championship. Yeah,
we saw last year Perth went over to New Zealand, got the win over there, and then came back here and should have won to go on to the grand final series, but Kirk Penny came to play.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
He was a fair player. Brebner now to Wilson. Here's Wilson at the top of the key to Warren. He's had a quiet night tonight. Warren, he's only scored the 2 points. They needed more from him, one of their superstars. As Brebner goes for another 3, it was adventurous, it was high, and it was a little short. He'll get it back again, though. Warren trying to drive his way through to the hoop. This time he'll receive it back again. The defense superb from the Cats until this one. Grabeau in the corner and could land it. Betty Purser takes the rebound, and the Cats continue to lead here in the jungle. 77-52, we think, is the score. All the computers and scoreboards say that is the score now. So it's a 25-point margin as Matty Knight comes into the game for Michael Vigor. Who do you think is the weapon for the Cats come playoffs time? I mean, Kevin Lish, we know, can score. Is there someone there that you'd like to see really step it up or think might step it up?
Oh, Damien Martin.
Yeah.
Let me right into that. No, look, I think that they have to get something out of the big men, both Neville and Matty Knight. And when they contribute, they're going to be tough to beat. The guards have been fairly consistent. We see here three-point play, or potential three-point play for the Wildcats, but they've been pretty good all year, but the big fellas have been a little bit inconsistent. Matt Knight with a few injuries. Luke Neville obviously coming in late to the team, just finding his feet. But we just see here Jesse Wagstaff, nice rip through into the basket, and just a little unlucky. But yeah, so I think those two really have to step up and be consistent performers over the course of the series, and the Wildcats will be tough.
So here's Brebner once again, the press nearly causing the turnover from the Perth Wildcats. It's just been one of, we've seen the Cats over the last couple of months. They've had those poor third quarters. This has been one of the most consistent games you've seen from them. I mean, you saw them last week as well. Yeah, look, definitely. I think that it would have been not a wake-up call last week. Obviously, they've been struggling in the last 6 games, so... But definitely they wanted to turn their fortunes around this week against a team that came in here and beat them up a few weeks ago and had that 15-0 third quarter, which would have been playing in their mind, and they've come out tonight and dominated the second half. Always going to be tough for Cairns. Those players that aren't used to playing big minutes,
they do have to step up. Warren struggled, and he's not the lone ranger out there. A lot of players haven't really had a great second half, and fatigue sets in when you're on the road as well. It's a long haul from Cairns to Perth.
Aaron Grabo drops in the first. He's got 5 points to his name. And you're right, Warren has struggled. He's 1 from 7 from the field. He's just had 2 points, and he's none from 3 from the three-point line. So the Cats have the ball. Lish to Purser. The pressure comes from Grabo. I want to go low to Knights. The cut through was nice. Can he finish it? Yes, he can. That is impressive basketball from a young kid just out of college. Ben Person, nice and aggressive, taking it to the rack.
Exactly what you want to see. Enters the ball into Matt Knight, just reads the defense. See here, just Grabo losing vision, cutting over the top. That'd be a set rule that they have whenever they enter the basket, enter the ball into the basket.
One to go.
All teams do, and just nice way to finish off for the young fella.
And can he make it a three-point play? Yes, he can. This margin getting bigger and bigger, closing in on 30 points now. 83-54 is that score. We've still got 3 minutes remaining. Brebner with it. And Wilson, aggressive to the basket, taking on Matt Knight. He lands awkwardly. And the foul will be on the big man from the Perth Wildcats.
You've got to like this about Cairns, still in the huddle. The game is over. Wilson bringing them together. Obviously still straight. They've still got something to play for, and they've got to realise that. So we see here, driving to the basket. Matty Knight, I would have him on the bench.
You rest him up. Yeah, he's vulnerable to having an injury in the last 3 minutes.
A few too many calf injuries for my liking, and I'll be putting him on ice for the night.
So Kevin Lish has sat down for the Perth Wildcats. 14 points for Kevin Lish. 5 of 9 from the field at 55%. 2 of 4 from the three-point line. 100% from the foul line. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals. Rock solid night from the man who many predict will be certainly up there for the MVP, if not winning it. Here's Purser. Nearly losing control as Grabo stuck his hands in there. Martin to Williamson. 3.5 minutes to go in this game in the jungle. Friday night will be a beauty when Townsville come to town. It's still a Wildcats ball. The top scorers for the game so far, Jamar Wilson with 16 points. He's also had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, but the negative side of that, he's had 7 turnovers. The pressure been pretty immense on him as the pretty much lone point guard in the game.
Yeah, always tough against this Damien Martin, Brad Robbins duo.
Another 2 makes it a 30-point game for Damien Martin. And a steal for Martin, and another 2 points for Damien Martin. And Tony, he's got 11 points to his name, 9 rebounds, just needs another board for that double-double.
And you reckon he's average?
No. When did I ever say he was average?
He's average.
He is a fantastic player.
Doesn't even rate in your favourite player category. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Here's Mitchell driving to the basket. Great little fake pass in the corner. Hill couldn't finish it off. And Reichard, he's pushed out the way Drew Williamson, and he'll be called for the foul. A little bit of frustration there for Dusty.
Yes, yeah. I think that Drew Williamson played that one beautifully. Made it look a lot worse than what it really was.
And he'll go for the shots now, Drew Williamson. He's had 9 points tonight, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Who's been your better player then? Damien Martin, he's very close to the double-double, or Kevin Lish, who's had 14, 3 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 assists.
I think across the board, probably Kevin tonight. We'll give it to him, but I think it's been pretty even across the board. You look at the point spread, the intensity that's come from each player. There hasn't been one dominant force tonight. I think that holds them in good stead for the playoffs. That's exactly what you want. You want everyone contributing and playing their role. That's what championship basketball teams do. And things are looking up for the Wildcats after, you know, disappointing last 6 games?
Certainly looking up, but then again, the others would say, well, there was no Loughton, there was no Croswhite, so they should have won by over 30 points.
Well, of course, but you can only play against what's presented in front of you, and that's this is what they had. And sometimes when players are out, they can tend to be more dangerous as well. So the Wildcats have done a good job, especially against a team that, like we've said a few times, has won 6 out of the last 8 times that they've been in this stream.
Mitchell to the line, he drops the first in.
More importantly, though, have we worked out the Wilson slash...
Yeah, I think Wilson's
Lesh
just got him by about 3 or 4 minutes.
Playing.
Yeah.
You might want to have a chat to both coaches and try and get that one start at the end of the year.
Rob Beveridge has not worked for me this week, to be honest. And it's been very disappointing. There's a travel there from Drew Williamson, just sliding that pivot foot. 88-57's that score. It's a 31-point margin. The Perth Wildcats will be winners here tonight in the jungle. And they'll be very happy because that record run of playoff appearances continues. Nice little 2-pointer to the Taipans to edge them closer to a respectable total at the end of the night as Williamson goes again from the 3-point line. Well done by Hyatt. Took a good rebound, third behind. Here's Redditch. Did he look at his feet? No, he didn't. Williamson out to Wagstaff. He'll drop this. No, he won't. There's also a push underneath the basket. And it'll be on
Greg
number
Hyatt.
4 in Greg Hyatt. So Wagstaff will rest. Neville coming to the game will go to the foul line again for the Taipans. As some of the fans make their way out of the stadium. Who's your tip next week?
Do you think? I reckon.
Yes, it's been 41 degrees today in Perth, and I reckon outside it'll be still sort of low 30s.
It's still, yeah.
About 25 degrees here in the stadium. So it's been warm, but it hasn't been overbearing.
Raining on the east coast non-stop, and floods and everything, and heat waves over here.
Who's your tip Friday night? The Wildcats take on Townsville. It'll be on 1. We'll be covering it again.
We will, yeah. Townsville disappointing last time they were here. We covered that one, and they've got a lot to play for, obviously. So, but I'll probably go with the same prediction I've had every game that we've covered this year, and we'll go with the Wildcats.
Okay, as Williams goes up for the shot. There's a little air ball. 136.
Playoffs, I might go out on a limb.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you've picked New Zealand. You're on New Zealand.
Well, yeah, I am on New Zealand. I think they're going to be tough to beat. They've proved all year that they're the ones, and it's going to have to take someone to get out there and win in New Zealand.
Yeah, exactly. As Hyatt tries for the alley-oop, but in the end, Brad Hill, I think, scored it. So another 2 to the Cats, 90.
And Greg said, Greg Hyatt showing his inexperience. He should have put his hand up there, said, I got it. Yeah. I got it.
Here's Brebner. Mitchell with it. Back to Reichart. All the youngsters on the court. Hill, nice spin move to Reichart. That one's short, and Hyatt takes another board. The Perth fans standing now. Finally, they say, finally we get a win in the jungle. It's been 2 weeks as Brad Robbins clocks it up to 92 points. 33 points, that margin. It's been convincing. As Brebner tries to score underneath the basket. He's worked hard tonight for Cairns.
Oh, fire it up there, Robbo.
There's Robbins with a floater. He goes up against Brebner, and he wanted one down the other end, but Robbins will go to the line. I've really been impressed with his game too tonight.
He's been great, yeah.
Been really aggressive.
Efficient, getting the ball to the rim, hit some jumpers. It's been a nice game from him. He had two turnovers early, but since then has really been a great contributor.
So he's had 14 points so far. 5 from 8 from the field. 4 from 4 from the foul line. Can he make it 5 from 5? Yes, he can.
What was that you just broke into, mate?
I don't know.
Is that your Richie Benno?
Yeah, 5 from 5. And now it could be 6 from 6, Tony.
Oh, there you go. We're losing it.
Let's get it 6 from 6.
No more 30-point games for us, all right?
35 points down that margin. There's 30 seconds remaining. The steal, and they could get to the 100, but I don't think so. The pass a little wild. Brad Hill. And has the Jungle got their spark back again? They certainly play a part in the Wildcats each and every home game. They'll have to bring their A game again next Friday night against Townsville. Eddie Gill, Peter Crawford, some guns in this competition. Take that, Robbo from 3. Oh, that would have brought the house down. Here's Neville. He decides to try for a little jumper from the corner, and it doesn't go. And the Wildcats have won here in the Jungle. 35 points the final margin. The Wildcats 94, the Taipans 59. The leading scorer